Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.
And hey, everybody, this is Jeanne Robertson. And as I love to say, we're going to have a heck of a lot of fun. That's a song sung by Harold Payne, an award-winning songwriter. Just his history, if you know about him, is amazing. We're friends through the National Speakers Association. And the closing song in today's show will be by Nathan Sparks. And he is from up in Virginia, a friend of Neil Steele's radio show, and he wrote me another song. And so we just made a lot of friends in this business, and we appreciate every one of them. I hope some of you were able to tune in to the streaming live show on Thursday. I will tell you that I was a little bit like a fish out of water. We had an excellent crew, 3 camera people. The people at the Charleston Music Hall could not have been better. Everything sort of went well. It was just real funny for the humorists to be on stage with 69 people scattered around. Great people. They tried their best to laugh as hard as they could. And then all these people, but we had folks from Australia, from Scotland, from the UK, just everywhere. And I appreciate it so much. Sorry we can't have shows in all of your town, but right now over here, we're not having shows here much. So we'll all hang in and be back before long. I've got a list of things for you today and some surprises coming up too. So let me make sure that let's just get started quickly. We're going to get started with Tony. Tony, can you come over here a minute and tell them about, I am signing your Christmas orders, Hanukkah orders as fast as I can. We have a special guest in the chair. And
I know, so I have to stand up. Okay.
He's got a left brain baseball cap on. And since last week, you've added that to my store.
You may now purchase these hats if you would like.
Tony, move over into the camera.
Okay, there.
Well, where's the camera?
All right.
Which way do I move to move into the
Walk
camera?
towards the television. All right, now
Is
look
that
up here.
Now just block Tony out.
I'm sorry.
This is not what you do for a living.
No.
But Tony, look, he's got on an Elon face mask and he's got on the left brain hat and the Santa Claus stuff out. But he is definitely the guest in this chair for today. So
yes, so I will stand up.
All right, tell him what they need to do.
Okay.
I got up early this morning and I'm signing.
Yes. We're a little behind on signing because, as you know, Jeanne was out of town this week. So she's back and she won't leave again till Christmas. So, or till after Christmas. So we'll get everything signed and out of here if you'll order. The post office has said that you should have your orders in the mail. We should have your things in the mail by December 15th. That's 10 days from now. So if you want gifts sent, you want them wherever, sent to different people or to you and you're distributing, that's great. We'll be glad to do it and we'll get them out just as quick as you get them into us. After the 15th, we'll still send them out that next week, but you may or may not receive them before Christmas.
Right, can we clarify something? It would help get them out quicker and it would vote. If you order and say, write Merry Christmas, we assume that's what you want me to autograph. And that's great. Merry Christmas. Keep laughing. Jeanne Robertson, I sign. But some people call back and say, no, I meant for you to autograph it to me. But see, we don't know whether you're giving it as a gift or not. So
we're good.
You assume?
We're good.
You tell
but,
me.
Yeah, we're good, but we are not mind readers. We
Okay.
can't decide what you meant to say. So we try to pretty much go with Jeanne writes pretty much what you tell her you want written. And if it doesn't say it's to a person, then we don't put it to a person because you may be giving it to, you don't know who you're giving it to yet. Okay. So just as much clarity as you give us will be good.
I got to tell you something funny. A minute ago, you didn't know where to put your hand. You put your hand on Santa's hat and then on his nose and then down on his mouth.
I was going to stand behind the chair and Patrick won't let me because it's out of the camera.
Okay,
so
on the shipping. Now, when I got home last night, I must have signed 20 or 30. And
yes.
This morning,
yes, you're still signing.
I get them to you. Tony sends them to me, and I send them to Tony back, and she ships them out. So I am home, and we'll be glad to do whatever anybody
I think
needs.
we're good on all that.
Okay.
Patrick's going to give them some more information about the audio book and when that might be available to order.
Okay.
But I think that's all we need to say, I hope.
All right, you're going to go way over there and sit
I'm going to
down.
leave, yes.
COVID-free, go all the way over there.
And walk way away.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Patrick, you're going to tell about the what we have is, and all of my stuff back here on the table, this will be out in how many days? This is not this, but mine's exactly like it, only it's my work. I read the audio book copy of the book. Yes, y'all please don't write and say, you should have had this out in November. I think we did real well to get it out, don't you, Pastor, with everything else that's happened. But it's 7 CDs they unfold inside. 7 hours and 20 minutes of my accent, if you can stand it. It's really only about 6 hours, but I'm with a Southern accent. It wound up being 7 hours and 20 minutes. Now they're asking, these are the CDs, because we questioned and found out that my people that listen in here still want the CDs, but the downloadable things, will you take over and tell them about that?
Yes. So we do have the CDs arriving fairly quickly. So by the way, if you want to get your name on the list to be the first to know about the CDs, go ahead and sign up right there on the screen.
They don't put any money down.
No. This is just a list, and we keep a spreadsheet. And then as soon as the books are shipped, we're going to send an email out to all the people who sign up saying, now's the time to order. Probably won't get there by Christmas, but there is a chance. And Jeannie's right. Had we started this in August, we would have had them ready for Christmas, but we didn't even know we were going to do it.
No.
Now, the downloadable CD audio book is going to be, it's currently being done right now, and we're going to give you explicit instructions on how to do that. It's not going to be on Audible, but there's a great company out of Nashville that's going to make it really easy for you to download, and we're going to give instructions on how to do that once it's available. And so if it's not on your preferred platform, we're sorry, but you're going to love this new one.
I know it. Okay. Hey, thank you. You did a great job on all that, Patrick, and I appreciate it. I also want to say a thanks to the Nashville people. They took me to Charleston, drove me down. Of course, left brain can't go. And they drove me down, and then I was going to drive myself back. And everybody got concerned that I would fall asleep on the road. And so they changed their plans and came back through here and flew home from here yesterday. So quickly now, before several other important announcements, I'm going to start giving away copies of my book, or you can choose one of my DVDs and I sign everything that goes out of here. We have people visit, they go out of here, I sign them. All right, here's the first person that wins your choice of a DVD or a CD, CD, of course, and then, or the book, Don't Bungee Jump Naked. Not the audio copy, just the regular book. And it is Mary Ford, F-O-A-R-D, from Virginia. Mary Ford, F-O-A-R-D. One out of this bucket right here, this little bag. Then I'm going to go way down in here and see what it comes up with. One of these. This is for the book or your choice. It'll be a great gift. Sheila Scraggs Hicks. Love your shows. Does Tony go to flea markets with you guys? She wouldn't be caught dead.
Not unless I'm being held captive.
Okay. All right. Sheila Scaggs, S-C-A-G-G-S dash Hicks, H-I-C-K-S. Thank you. Don't know where you're from, but there you go. And the third one that we've mashed all these down into, I'm going way down, and here it is. And I'll put these two back in there because I know y'all are watching. And this is Brian Keith Holbrook. And then Brian is from Virginia, Whiteville, Virginia. And you get your choice of my book or a DVD or CD. And Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, Keith Holbrook. Okay, several more announcements. Let me make sure that I get these right. We usually have a show and tell. And last week when I was on, I showed you a book that I had found in a flea market waiting to make sure the airplane took an Elon student back to Missouri. And I didn't want to drive home. And then she called and say, we didn't go. And I'd go back and get her. So I hung around and I found a tabletop book, big book of costume jewelry from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and all of the history behind them. So I just bought that fast as I could because Jane Tucker was coming to Charleston, and I gave it to her. Well, she had the same type of a classy gift from me. she had seen in a store window in Highlands, North Carolina, this totem pole from Auburn. Can you see it? All of the Auburn things. So let me go ahead and say right now, I had never seen this totem pole. I love it. Tony, aren't you jealous?
It's more of a
I thought it was going to be my Christmas present.
No.
it's more of a totem stump.
It's a totem stump. But isn't it cute, all these Auburns? So let me go on and say right now to all of my fun, friendly Alabama fans, congratulations on the game last weekend. Y'all certainly beat us this year, and now you're still playing and we're not. But it doesn't diminish our love for our school. So
Actually,
way to go, Bama. And what?
Actually, to keep the record straight, we are playing today. And guess what time the game started?
What?
At noon.
Well, I'm telling you, sometimes you just can't make Tony happy. Who are we playing today, Tony?
We're playing Texas A&M. We went from the number 1 team to now we're playing the number 5 team in the country.
I always thought we finished the season with
Well,
Auburn,
we
Alabama
did,
game.
but this is 2020. We don't finish this week or next. We play again next Saturday.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. And does Alabama have to play 2 more games too? Because I thought they
Of
were
course.
the Big Four.
No. Everybody's playing. They're playing today and they're playing next
Let me
week. And then,
remind y'all,
and then they get to
Tony's
play
job- Tony's job is to keep me informed so that I know things.
If you'd been in town, you would know all this.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right.
You just rolled back in
Okay.
that last night.
The next thing for show and tell, and then we'll have enough of those, I think. I'm doing my pop-ups when I can from my office by myself. Since I pay Patrick a tiny bit of money to come and help me, I mean tiny bit. He says you can't even get all 4 letters in the word tiny for the amount I send him. But I have learned to do it. And you had the funniest line. Somebody said, "Is Jeannie paying you?" And you said, "Well, she helps me a little bit on all of these, but she's learning some things herself. But anytime she learns too many, you throw down some cords on the floor and she has to hire me back." Thanks a lot.
Every time
Patrick.
she learns a new skill, I have to throw down a cable just to confuse her.
I know, and you do. So I couldn't do this without Patrick. I think everybody knows. So what you all said to me, oh my gosh, what happened to Left Brain's picture? Because in the back of my office, way over on the side, among all of the pictures of me, was a beautiful picture of Left Brain. And every time I've done the show, that picture has been back there. And here it is. And it was when he was young and he had those sparkling blue eyes and he's so cute. And of course, I've always thought he was really cute. Look at him. He's so cute. But I changed pictures. I decided I would redo Left Brain's office. And when I did, I put this big picture in there. And then I put up this picture. And immediately all of you said, "Where'd you get that picture?" And you noticed that picture on the back of the wall. So this is a show and tell right here. And I believe this was sent to me by Christine and Lee, or maybe Sherry Harris. I can't remember, but somebody on the Patrick, could you come over here now a minute and help me? I got pictures all over my body. There you go. That one goes back up to his office. This one goes down into my office. And that's the show and tell for today. Please do. Please do. Okay. We have a big announcement now. Oh, I know why you wanted to hold on. I have a big announcement. We have a special guest. You know, we've had a special guest about every other week. And I think we've had some outstanding guests, from Jane Tucker, Norma Rose, Beaver came one time, and we had Debbie Childers. And may I tell y'all, I talked to her just a little while ago today, and she's doing okay, coming back from the COVID. Tim, her husband, is still fighting it. And but Debbie wanted, I said, "May I tell everybody you're okay?" And she said, "Please do." And then, of course, Tara Brown and Joy Earl, and on and on. Well, next week, our guest will be Mark Lowry. So how many children did you get together in the neighborhood to create that? Do it again. Are you ready? Our guest next week will be the famous Mark Lowry. How many children? How many people did you get together for the cheering? Way to go. Good idea. I'm sure that most of you know Mark is known for many things. He's a funny guy. He traveled with I think the Gaithers for 12 years. We'll find out more about all of that next week. with baritone, absolutely beautiful voice. But he also does comedy, which I think is fascinating. And I think one of the things that all of you will are impressed with, and if you don't know, you will immediately say, "Oh my gosh!" Mark wrote the song "Mary, Did You Know?" And then he went to someone who was, and I'll get that name straight, who writes music, and they wrote them. So they wrote it together. One did the words, and one did the music, and I think he said something like 400 covers of that. Means other people singing the song now. Is that correct?
That sounds like an awful lot.
It seems like a lot. Well, I'll check it.
All I know is Dolly Parton just recorded.
Dolly Parton just did. And then a lot of other people too. So we are so excited that he'll be on next week. So tell people about that. Okay. I have your questions in the yellow bucket. Okay, everybody out there, look at me and see if you see the yellow bucket. Tony, somebody run up to the bedroom. I was sitting in the bed. Okay, and while they do that, there is an elf on a shelf hidden in this picture of me sitting here. You see all this Christmas stuff that I've seen? It's a little dark, but if you can spot the elf on a shelf that's on this table behind me, if you can then tell me exactly where it is and be the very, thanks, Patrick, be the very first person to say, elf on the shelf is, and then tell me exactly where it is, you win your choice of a prize too. All right, these are some of the questions that we're just trying to catch up on because every week we just can't seem to get enough of the questions in. So this week we'll try a little bit more. Okay, here's the question, and it is, when is the Gloucester, Virginia crowd coming down again? You need to have the whole crew down here. And it's talking about the Neil Steele show. And this person is Bill Dodson Jr.
Neil's on watching. He's already
Neil's on. Well, so I've been being on the Neil Steele morning show for 38 weeks only. At Thanksgiving, they just played Christmas music. So I did, and so they did on the 4th of July. They didn't play Christmas music, but they didn't have a show. So I guess I've been on their show 36 weeks. And yesterday, I was on live from the back seat of my car while the McCrees drove us all the way down. So Bill, there, 3 of them came this time. We would love to have the whole crew, but Neil still does the same thing I do, but he does it on a bigger scale. I have a cast of characters. It's if I do a theater show, and we do hope they will be coming back. If I don't tell stories about Left Brain, Jane Tucker, Norma Rose, Tony, Beaver, people will eventually say, "What happened? Why didn't you tell something about Norma Rose? Why didn't you tell something about Jane?" Neil still has a much larger cast of characters. I'm not sure they could all fit in on this porch because he's got 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So Bill Dodson, I don't know when they're coming again, but I sure hope they do it sometime. We'll go back to Zach's restaurant and leave a cheap tip and try to others put some money down. Ralph came and sang the possum song and so forth. All right, here's another. Got one question. I'm just having the best time. I hope y'all are. Okay. Susan Tuttle Blaylock. Is Left Brain also from your hometown? No. Left Brain is from Burlington, North Carolina, where I live now. I grew up in Graham, North Carolina, which is adjacent. The city limit signs are just back to back. And Graham is where I grew up. We were told by my mother, don't go to Burlington, the boys are fast. And so we didn't try to go over there. We just stuck away. But that's where Left Brain's from. And I am proudly from Graham, North Carolina.
So were the boys from Graham slow?
Yeah, they were supposedly. Don't now, you got me in trouble with my high school class. All right, here is, did I give you the name of the person that asked that question about the, is Left Brain from my hometown? Susan Tuttle Blaylock, I did. All right, this is from Leah Lanani Medlin. Who is your role model, Jeannie, and why? Whoa. Okay. Well, my role model in humor is anybody who works so hard, keeps coming out with a new material. I used to really admire Irma Bombeck. I couldn't read her much because I would begin to try to sound like her, and I didn't want to do that at that point. Bob Newhart, and then in the speaking world, Mark Sharon Brock, all of the people that are in humor that I admire so much. But my role model in life, now this is going to be, y'all are going to think, well, that's corny, but this is the truth if you really know him, has to be Left Brain. Because I was teaching and speaking on the side, and he said to me, you know, you really might want to think about stopping the teaching and just going full time into speaking. And there's so many people who have spouses or partners, and they don't support them like that. And the other thing is, I don't believe, we hope we've never cheated anybody to our knowledge or anything, but if there was ever a question, Left Brain would always say, you know what? They're treating you wrong. Go ahead, but remember it and tuck it in your bracket. Don't work with them again. And he always would set that kind of a standard. And he would say to me, you need to go. Just don't come back tired. Rest and keep going. And, this is the best story. And you can see why he's a role model. He didn't go to parties and all much without me, but he had to go to some social event, and I was out of town. And somebody said, where is Jeannie now? And he told them if he could remember. And some guy, probably a muckety muck, said, I wouldn't let my wife go all these conventions and hotels and parties. Well, they didn't understand. If you're the professional speaker, you're probably asleep in your room till it's your turn. They said, I wouldn't let my wife do that. And somebody standing there said, but Jeannie's getting paid for those speeches. And this guy said, still Left Brain, not saying a word, oh, well, if my wife could make some good money at it, I'd be happy for her to go. And very quietly, Left Brain said, well, the problem is, if you're not willing for her to go when she's not making any money, she won't ever get to the point where she's making a lot of money. And everybody in town that heard that just told me that's why he would be my role model. I love him so much. Here comes another question. Okay, see, we're answering a lot, aren't y'all? Sorry you didn't send them in this week. Marcia Buhera. It's Bueher. Got it. Marcia, Marcia. I'm sorry, Buhera. How many speaking engagements have you had during your career so far? 57 and a half years. I would say, Tony, 3,000, 4,000. You booked them. I'd say 3,000. You know, it's been a lot. It's been big. I've been very busy. So many a year.
If you average 100 a year, it'd be 5,700.
Well, then 3,700. Then that's wrong. 10,000. I'll tell you what. I will. I'll have Tony check that out and get back to you with that next week.
I'll count that up in my spare time.
One more question. We'll give away some more prizes. Patrick, you need to tune up before long.
I think it's funny that they would expect an honest answer to that question from a speaker.
You know, sometimes speakers will say, I've been speaking 15 years and I've done 20,000 programs. And I'm thinking, no, you haven't. I count if you have a contract and they paid you to come. And I remind you that the first year I spoke, my fees were $35 a speech, but I was glad to get it. Okay, Carol Shepherd. Do you or Left Brain help us short people in the grocery store get cereal off the top shelf? I'm always looking for someone to help. Well, we help everybody that needs a little help. And of course, if you're real tall and our son Beaver is 6'8", then you help people get stuff. They give you the stuff off the bottom. Tony, what are you, 4'11"?
If you can't find someone to help you, you can, if you're real careful, you can stand on the bottom shelf and reach. Since I'm 5 feet nothing, as you say,
4'11".
I always need help.
If I see somebody standing on the bottom shelf, I'm moving out of the way. All right, I'm going to give some more prizes. I'm having too much fun here. And we did have a lady, Janet, about the candy.
Joanne Milano, I believe, from New York.
She asked if we got the candy.
Oh, you definitely did. And I found some of it.
You found some of the wrappers?
I'm amazed.
Okay, it was special chocolate, but the problem is, that I don't open all, people open it up and then they poured all this chocolate into a basket in the guest bedroom. And then I don't have the name left. They but this is Vinci chocolate.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna
taste one just to make sure.
Yeah, you do
Make
that.
sure it's good. I'll taste it. for you.
Okay. All right, here's some prizes. I'm going into this basket first. This would be your choice. And I understand Mark Lowry told us he was sending us a basket of things to give away next week.
Who did you say?
Mark Lowry. It's a shame we don't have a good time putting this on. Okay. All right. All right. Keith Hasson, Hasson. Okay. This is a guy known as Pork Chop that's on Neil's show. Make sure to ask Neil Steele how he is able to elude the gravitational pull of Ralph's head every morning. That's sort of an inside joke, but they had a contest for the biggest head in Virginia, and they measured it around. And I don't think Ralph won. I think somebody else. Anyway, whatever. That when you win, oh, great. Keith Hasson has won a prize. So you can get Patrick's CD if you want to. If you already have mine, Keith, for some reason, I think Pork Chop may already have it. But if you don't, let us know what you want. We do not include the more expensive audiobook in that yet. Here's one over here. Everything. Okay. Got it. This again is for a prize. Patrick, you getting ready?
Yes.
Okay. Alice, spelled Allyce, Larson. Have you ever attended Mayberry Days in North Carolina? Oh my gosh. That's in Mount Airy, North Carolina, the home of Andy Griffith. And I have attended several times. As a matter of fact, they asked me 3 years in a row, I think, to be the potato queen. And I was a hit because I had at my feet in the car bags of potatoes. And as I would ride slowly down the street, the main street, I would say, "You want a potato? You've had too many potatoes. No, look at you, too many potatoes." And the crowd would laugh and we'd go over, and it was loads of fun. The Mayberry Day people, you may have seen one of the stories I've written. I call them, go ahead people. Because I was in a store one day at Mayberry Days, and they have thousands of people there. But I said to the store owner, boy, I bet you love having these people come in. He said, "Oh, it's a crowd for us. It's good for business." And then I said, "But don't you have a fall festival in a couple?" And he said, "And they're great people too. But we call the Mayberry people, go ahead people." And I asked him why. And he said, if two of them come to the door at the same time, they both stop and say, "Excuse me, go ahead." I loved that. That did sound like the Mayberry. Okay. So Mayberry Days is a great place to go. And I was the Mayberry queen. And you got to see the live goat at the jail. Remember the story on Bluey? Okay. And then the bag over here, that was for Alice Larson. Tony, did you get her? Allyce Larson. Okay, and here, Larson. And I'm going to go down in this one right here. We keep stuffing. I don't want to go to 4, but if we have to, we will. And this is for a prize. Nancy Riley. Okay, don't know where you're from. So if your name too is Nancy Riley, you have a good chance here. So Nancy Riley, great fun. And you can choose. And I do sign the DVDs too. Somebody said this morning, "Have you ever signed a DVD?" We sign everything. Okay, Patrick, you going to sing? Want to tell us about your song?
Sure.
I always come in here every morning. I say, "I've got 6 I want you to sing." You choose. No, I'm not going to do that one. Sing it away.
Well, first of all, we decided it's a lot easier for me to stay right here than having to jump over cables and move people out of the way. So I'm just going to play from right here. I've played this song before on this show, as I have a lot of the songs, but you asked me to play it, so I will. When I lived in Nashville, I didn't have a lot of money, and so we would look for inexpensive places to eat. And so I was recording in a studio one day, and this guy, the engineer, said, "Why don't we grab some lunch?" And so we went to this place where he frequented, and it was a buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet that was actually in a nursing home right there off West End. And they opened their cafeteria to the public. And for like $3 or $3.99, you could get meat and three, which is a meat and 3 vegetables. And so anyway, whenever you go eat at a nursing home, if you've ever eaten there, you have to be prepared for somebody to roll up to you. And there was a woman who used to roll up all the time, and we would talk. Her name was Anna. And so Anna would, she would talk and she would ask questions and we'd have a good time. But whenever I was ready to leave, she would put her hand on top of mine and she'd say, "Thanks for seeing me." And so at the time, I just thought it was kind of a Southern thing. Thanks for seeing me. Thanks for stopping by. But I later kind of realized that I think she meant thanks for noticing me. Thanks for being present with me. And so I wrote this song about Anna. Tony, I can hear you scribbling. Is there something wrong? Okay, good. I thought maybe somebody couldn't hear me. She said, "I have not heard my name in years. They call me Grandma or Mother dear. I guess somehow it's been lost with age. I've been tucked away like a songbird in a cage. They seem afraid to grasp my hands or look me in the eyes. They don't understand the loneliness I feel inside. Call me Anna, stroke my hair, take me dancing, take me anywhere. Sing me a song, I'll sing you one back. Let's put pennies on the railroad track. Let's walk barefooted in the rain. Call me Anna, that's my name. These haven't always been a grandma's hands. She said they once held dreams, they once held a man. My memories live in pictures on the walls. I'm tired of living in the past. I'm tired of walking down these halls. Call me Anna, stroke my hair, take me dancing, take me anywhere. Sing me a song, I'll sing you one back. Let's put pennies on the railroad track. Let's walk barefooted in the rain. Call me Anna, that's my name. Let's walk barefooted in the rain. Call me Anna, that's my name.
Woo! Yay! Applause. Play the children. Hit the children.
Who are we having next week again, Jeannie?
Well, I was going to say, right, you just heard Patrick Henry. Next week, we're having Mark Lowry. And we've got several other great folks coming. And if you think you should be here, let me know. This is a special invitation. As you can tell, the questions that we have today, most of them seem to point toward me. These were leftover questions for the bucket. So if you have a question that you would like to ask Mark Lowry next week and have it in the bucket, I think he'll be game. Go ahead and send it about how he writes his songs, how he got in the business, or whatever you want to ask. And you can start sending those anytime and we'll fill up the bucket again. So let me ask some more right here and see what Patrick, that's a wonderful song.
Well, and also just so you know, I should have mentioned this. I always when I play that song, say that it's not to make anybody sad. It's to serve as a reminder that to be present with people as long as we can. It's been really hard during COVID, not being able to see some of our loved ones. And so, this is just a reminder that everybody needs contact.
They like being seen, and I get what you mean by that. All right, here's the smiley face bucket. As is our whole house, everything in here, I just about have gotten out of speech in the last 57 and a half. People have said, where did you get that bucket? I got this bucket from the center of a table in Florida. I think I was speaking for Publix grocery store, or those people had brought me in. Their kids had been to Elon. And they said you could have, if you were at the table, you could have the yellow bucket, and they had pretty flowers out of it. So I brought my yellow bucket all the way back to Alamance County, North Carolina. Here's the question. Sharon, Sharon, Ann with no E, Tarr, Tarr. Looking forward to Saturday when you are the highlighter. Have you ever spoken in Wisconsin? Sharon, there's two different worlds. One is the theater world, and that's what I've been doing for about 12 years, thanks to the Nashville people, and we sell those tickets and having a good time. But the 57-year career has been as a professional speaker, conventions. So I've been in every state but Rhode Island, and I'm really not sure there is a Rhode Island if you want to get down to it. I mean, after 57 years, if you haven't been to a state, where are you going? Because you go to some. But I remember distinctly the first time this little Southern girl at 6'2" was going to go speak in Wisconsin. All I could think of was there would be blocks of cheese everywhere, because we had seen these football fans had these cheese head things on their head, and that cheese was everywhere. And what I knew about Wisconsin was cheese, Wisconsin cheese. So I smile. I have spoken now in Wisconsin many times, and every time I go, I start smiling because I'm looking for blocks of cheese. I love to go different places and see this country. All right, mowing down again. Okay. If you got a question, send Tony. Tony, you back there taking any more? Yeah, good. Yeah, we got some. All right, here's one. Barbara Reinschmidt Hilliard, RHEINSCHMIDT is her middle name. Barbara Reinschmidt Hilliard. Jeannie, you find humor in everything. Please help me find the humor in doing my Christmas decorating for no one to see. Oh, Barbara, you see it. I know exactly what you mean, because as you know, Left Brain's so sick, and we won't be having any parties or people in with the COVID. We wouldn't anyway. But there's something about pulling out a decoration that you've used for years. I don't say you have to decorate everything. I've already told y'all, we put lights around the outside, and people think we're lit up in here. And, well, that doesn't sound right, does it? Being lit up here. No. But and my sister Andrew, I had her down. Y'all have asked about her. Always gave good gifts, and she always gave you a Christmas decoration. And there is just something very pleasing, since she has passed away so early, that when I take out the gifts that she gave me, it just is a very comforting thought to me to stop and think about her. And maybe your decoration too, as I say, if you're decorating and no one is seeing it, you're seeing it, and maybe that's a reminder to call somebody who has no one to call them, or all of their children are going to call them on Christmas Day, but not thinking about them 2 weeks ahead of time, and just see what they're doing. I think that works, and I bet you'll have a great Christmas. Got a question, Tony?
Was Barbara a prize winner or a question person?
Well, she's a prize winner.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. That's what I wrote.
Whether she was or not, she's a prize winner
I didn't hear
now.
what you said to start that.
Okay. By the way, I had this down for when y'all were looking at, y'all look around my office when I do those pop-ups in my office. And I'm dumbfounded that you look around, but you've said, who is that picture of the young woman on the back? And
Mark's watching right now.
Oh, hey, Mark. Are you? You're backing out and you got a broken leg. Where are you? He can't, he's just taping. Well, I'm glad you're watching. This is my sister, Andrea, who who died so early. Obviously, you can see. Can you see your Patrick? Hold it up close, because her friends call me on holidays sometime to remind me that they are thinking about Andrea, just to let us know that they're thinking about her. She's pretty, wasn't she? She finished first in law school. She'd eat you alive if you no, I'm kidding. But that was Andrea. And that's the other picture y'all have started. You found John Wooden on my walls. You found everybody pictured on the walls. And we will now have to put up a picture. Are you ready? Of Mark Lowry.
Who?
Mark Lowry. You talked to him yesterday. You got it. All right, here's another question. Okay. Still having fun. Remember, if we're not having fun, it's our own fault. We are the ones that make it happen. Yeah, okay. What does Left Brain want for Christmas? Well, and no, here's the better one. You ask two questions. Left Brain doesn't ever want presents much because we just don't spend all that. And you know, he spends $5 on mine for years until I said something about it and he wanted to go to $7.50. What's the funniest thing you and Norma Rose have done together? When she went as a non-gambling Baptist with me to Las Vegas and we hit the jackpot, we laughed till we couldn't even get the quarters up off the floor. I mean, we were playing the slot machine. And my favorite line from that story is, it was the quickest I've ever seen a Christian change denominations. She sat down a good Southern Baptist and within an hour jumped up an Episcopalian. I love it. We laughed to the point where we hurt. People were trying to help us get the money up. We kept saying, no, we got it. We've got it. So that was a good question. Thank you very much. Did I give your name? I would hope so. These are still, all right. Pamela McClellan, McClellan. Have you ever had any Thanksgiving calamities? Well,
has she not been watching the show?
I know.
She not know about green bean casserole?
The green bean casserole was, I admit.
Well, I was thinking about the broken leg, but that was around
The
Christmas.
broken leg. It's Patrick's family that refuses to let me bring anything resembling a green bean back into their house, and it wasn't that bad. But I'll tell you what did happen.
Well, the green beans were fine. It was the raw onions that kind of caused the problem.
I forgot I was supposed to bring the casserole till 5 minutes before I left. Then I was going to put them in y'all's microwave, and I got over there and forgot it. They were awful. Why would I not get another chance? Hello, Patrick, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why would I not? For those of you
us.
who don't know, Patrick, who's running the sound system and just saying and doing all of this techie stuff, is Tony's son-in-law. Nepotism is alive and well. We do it, and none of
Absolutely.
these people let me bring a green bean casserole.
That's why
So
we're all together. We're a closed loop. We don't. A lot of people have been talking about wearing masks. We're all family, so we have a closed loop.
I have got some mask. I'll have to show my mask now that you mention it. What happened, Pamela, was we used to play bridge with Dr. Gene Long and his wife, Gray. And actually, that's where our grandson is named after Gray. And he would be on call on the night before, like Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve. Somebody had to be on call. And he delivered babies. And so he would go deliver a baby and come back and we'd deal the cards. It was just an interesting thing. So one night I told him that I had to do, the whole family was coming to my house the next day for Thanksgiving. Are you ready? I said, yes, I am. I have green bean casserole. I have everything. And when I get home tonight, I will put in the turkey and it'll cook all night until we had it all timed out exactly. Does that not seem like your typical night before Thanksgiving or Christmas? Sure. We had a turkey in the freezer out back, the same place we kept hot dog weenies that always get us in trouble. Somebody had given it to Left Brain. He came home and said, somebody sent us a turkey. He told me which supplier or business person it was. I put it in the freezer. We can serve it Thanksgiving Day. I assumed it was a big turkey. This was a turkey the size of your hand. It was a turkey breast, boneless turkey breast, and I had 18 people coming for Thanksgiving. I had no turkey, anything. And this is a nice thing about friends, and I guess knowing the people that I picked up the phone. It was maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. And I called back where we had been playing bridge and said to my friend Gray, "You don't by any chance have 2 turkeys, do you?" And she said, "Oh yeah, I always get 2 just in case." And I said, "Well, left brain's on the way back. I got to have that other turkey." The turkey, y'all, have you ever seen a turkey that's this size? It's a little sick turkey, I guess. It never grew.
Chickens.
It was no chickens.
I think they're called Cornish hens.
Okay, yeah, I panicked, but of course, with my family, if I had not had a turkey the next day, they would have said, "Don't come back here next year." Here's the catch: they will always come back. They will always come back. All right. And here's a question from, see, I told y'all more questions today. Saw you on the porch in Sumter, South Carolina. Wasn't that fun that day with Carol Brown and on Missy's front porch because of my show being down there? I enjoyed it. Will you be doing any more of that when you travel for your shows? The answer is we're thinking about that. We tried it at the beach in July, and the water, we said we're going to be sitting next to the water, and the camera picked up that reflection, and we didn't have it right, but we did it. And then when we had to do it down in Sumter, we did it on a friend's front porch. You'd be surprised the number of people have said, "If you come back to so-and-so, you can do your show from our front porch." And I remember that day we had a lawnmower struck up. We had a crop duster went over, even though they have Shaw Air Force Base or whatever it is there. We had people mowing their lawns, doing everything, riding by, waving. I loved it. So we're debating what we're going to do because this changes when I travel for my shows. I'm traveling on Saturday or I'm already there. We're just trying to figure it out. I enjoy it. Y'all let me know what you think I ought to do. It could be that you say, this ran its course and we had a good time and this was fun. But a lot of people aren't traveling and aren't going anywhere. So I like doing it. If I have to, that made me think a little bit. You just got to get someone that is willing to go with you and run the show when you get down there. Patrick, no comments.
We'll talk about that.
You've got children that play every sport, so that's tough right there. Let me see. I had to put some other things. Okay, here we go. You mentioned masks because we're going to be in them a while, it sounds like. I have a United States mask. I have, of course, that's an Elon mask. I'm on the board of trustees. I mention them all the time. This is an Auburn mask. I have 3 or 4 Auburn masks. Somebody sent me this left brain mask. Patrick, you put this one together for me with my picture that it says, "Don't send a man to the grocery store without a mask." I like that. And I've got others here. I don't know where I put some of the funnies. And y'all have sent me some great masks, and I appreciate it. So tell me how much time. I got some more questions here, and I can give some prizes.
You got 12 minutes.
All right. Okay, here we are. Nobody's writing questions today?
They are, but a lot of them are for Mark for next week. So
Great.
that'll be great.
Right.
Also, many people have found the elf.
Who was the first person?
There is no way to know.
Yeah, there is.
So
you reversed all the comments.
I
The
was
first
going
one.
to see if Patrick can't tell on his, because his record's better than mine.
Are
then
you
can
sure
find
they
the
found the
very
elf?
first person. Well, many have found the elf where he is. Others have found the elf where he isn't. Lots of people think he's back behind Santa or on Santa's head or under the shelf, or anyway, there are many wrong places.
Okay.
But there are many right ones.
The first one that said in the red cup.
Well, we're letting Patrick figure that out.
Patrick, you figured it up. I promised a prize.
I cannot figure it out. And Linda Krim did want to say she's still busy trying to explain to Mr. Bruce what an elf on the shelf is.
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, the first time I heard it talked about was, Patrick, with your children when they were little. I had not heard, if your children were grown past a certain age, we didn't have elf on the shelf.
It came out about when Jack was who's 19 now, when he was about 2 or 3.
Okay.
And so that's how long ago.
Did y'all all know about elf on the shelf? It's just, boy, can we figure out a way to make money. You put this little elf on the shelf and it moves around through the night. You can see this on video there. darling. It's a great idea.
It is the most brilliant marketing plan I've ever heard of.
No, Hallmark cards, Secretary's Day.
This is parents use that as a discipline tool. I mean, you can't threaten a 15-year-old with Elf on the Shelf, but when they were young and they'd start acting up, we'd start having imaginary conversations with the elf, telling on the kids, because he'll go tell Santa, and the kids would just panic.
Okay.
And so it was a great way to
Terrible.
get them under control.
Well, can I ask you something? Can you keep looking there and find the first person that said he's in the red cup on the table?
Yeah. I'll do my
Okay.
best.
While you do that, now I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and that's not good. So I will, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Anything somebody else literally can cook. That's good for me. Another question. We're getting close. We'll have all those. Mark, did you hear? They're all sending in questions for you next week. Okay.
There's a question, Jeannie. Somebody said, when will you release information about how you broke your femur? I think you need to tell them where that is.
Okay. Sometime we have a throwback question. I did, as a matter of fact, I had done 8 DVDs with corresponding CDs. And I said, that's about 10 or 10 and a half hours worth of stories right there. I probably won't do another one. Tony came to me and said, after I started speaking again, see, Mark Lowry has a broken leg. He's in a wheelchair too. And I was in rehab 3 months. And people, have all said, how did it happen? How did it happen? And it happened. And Tony came to me and said, when I started back speaking, are you going to do another tape? And I said, well, I don't know. That's got to be at least an hour, but now I'm up to an hour and a half doing them. I don't know. And she said, well, let me tell you something. Your opening that you're doing now about breaking your femur is about 40 minutes. All you got to do is just get some more new material. Do you remember saying that, Tony?
I do, unfortunately.
And I said, you know what? And then you regretted it. I said, I believe I will do another tape. So the last tape called Rockin' Humor, because I'm in a rocking chair when that is, I do the whole show about the 35 minutes. I believe I could have done an hour, but we cut it down. So that's where that is. But I broke it, bringing in wieners from the refrigerator out back for our annual neighborhood 3-block area, including the children, of course, Christmas party, serving hot dogs and, ice cream sundaes. We're not doing that this year because you can't get that many people in your house with the COVID and so forth. Okay. How can I order? This is Jenny, Jea. Did you find the person, Patrick?
I'm looking.
Jenny Wiggum Lee. How do I order a copy of your book? What a wonderful question. I want to put it on my Christmas list. And this person Jenny is from Cairo, Georgia. Cairo, Cairo, Georgia.
Cairo.
Well, how do you say it?
Cairo.
Cairo,
I
Georgia.
think.
Okay, well, wherever. That's it. And just go to JeanneRobertson.com, the store.
Store.JeanneRobertson.com.
Okay. Or just my website is JeanneRobertson.com, and it says all the products that we have. And now we have the hat. I think if you had a left-brain husband.
If you guys want the hat, if you want to buy the hat that's sitting on top of Santa's head, go to the site listed at the bottom of the screen, store.JeanneRobertson.com, and that you can buy her book, you can buy the hat, you can buy CDs.
Well,
and now's the time to do it.
Well, I know that. No,
But
can I tell them, if you weren't here last week, I found a bunch of hats. I had ordered several thousand, and I decided I couldn't sell them on site because you had to pay 30% to the theater. By the time we shipped it, and I just couldn't, it just wasn't working. Tapes, it's 10% or something like that. So last week, I just started giving hats away, and y'all started saying, wait a minute. I want to give my husband this for Christmas. How do I get a hat? We didn't even have a price or anything, but as you can see, we have been busy this week.
And I think I've been corrected. I think it's Cairo, Georgia.
What did I say?
No, I think you said it right.
You said it right.
I said it wrong.
Did y'all hear that? I said Cairo right. I know that ARAB is Arab, Alabama, not Arab, Alabama.
Well,
You got to
that.
know these things. And there is a humorist who married someone from Arab, Alabama. Do y'all know who he is?
Well, I'll tell you who he wasn't.
It's Henry Cho. Still is Henry Cho. He's there. I'm sorry, Henry. Holy cow. Okay. Maybe I'll try to get him on. Okay. Another one. I know we're rushing. This is a question, and then we give away more prizes. I'm looking up here. This is from Carolyn K. Hips. Jeannie, get those ingredients out. Left Brain brought from the grocery store for a 7-Up pound cake and baked cakes. That should feed everybody who shows up. And when will we have the 14-minute version? Well, I taped it Thursday night. That if you watch the live stream, you'll notice. And it was so funny because the one we filmed the first time was 7 minutes and 52 seconds. And now it's like 14 minutes. And people actually that worked in the theater said, it's a little longer than when you told it here 4 or 5 years ago. It's a lot longer. So we wanted to y'all told me, I asked my Facebook people, should I just leave the short version up or put up the top? And y'all said tape it. Okay,
so,
let's
hold on for a second. Mm-hmm. So Patricia Smith has helped me out. She said that Glenda Babb Andrews found the elf first.
Okay.
Glenda Babb Andrews.
From where?
Well, Patricia didn't tell me that.
Well, then say her name again.
Glenda Babb Andrews.
Glenda, she saw, all you have to do is just look at the bottom, the first one. Well, I guess it doesn't work. Okay. But there it is in a red cup right there with this little elf head sticking up. So you're very observant. Actually, after we did that, I looked at this table and it's a little dark. We need a spotlight on that table for them to find things, because I'm going to have an elf on the shelf hidden next week too.
Oh, they found him. They found him in about 8 places.
You just turned on the lights. We should rehearse. Have you ever thought that we should rehearse? So we don't have much time left, so I'm going to give prizes away. That keeps people. Let me look at the list too. Mark coming, and of course, try to listen every chance you get to Mary Did You Know, and watch his. And I will be playing clips by Mark Lowry like I do for everybody the week before they come. And I guess that's about it. Left Brain's photos. Anything else that y'all notice odd around my house? Didn't even say anything about new shoes being on. I was with Jane Tucker this week. And okay. More prizes. Do we have 2 or 3 minutes, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay.
We do, but also I'd like to encourage everybody, obviously, to tune in next week to hear you and Mark, but also share it on your Facebook pages.
Great idea.
That at noon on Jeannie's YouTube page, we're going to have Mark Lowry on. And also visit his YouTube channel and subscribe, because he's very funny. Well,
I think he is too. His is, when you on the email and your YouTube clips pop up, Mark, I don't know how, every once in a while, Mark's pop up with mine. You know how somebody else's will pop up. You like this person, you may like this person. So, all right, let me give away another prize. And here we go. Oh, I pulled out 2. No, I didn't. This is a long one. One dropped. This is for a person who's going to win a prize. Dorothy Davidson, Dottie Rush. Okay. Dottie, are you kin to me? Are you Dottie Rush from down in Miami? Did you go to Auburn? Are you my Aunt Dottie Rush's? Let me get in touch with me about that. I just think for some reason.
I'm feeling a little awkward right now because I can't hear her answers.
No, but she's there. If she's there, she may not be watching today. But I think, when we were on Missy Walker's front porch in Sumter, I drew Ann Walker, her mother's name, for the prize, and she was sitting right behind her. Oh. Ann said, I've already got it. Go ahead. All right, this is for a prize. Stacy, Staceya Williams. Your office is wonderful. I love the roll top desk and the card catalog. Thanks. I like old things. And I like to roll that top down and make your office look cleaner than it is too. Stacy, you win a prize. I don't know where you're from, but they've got your name, and let us know what you want and to whom you would like for it to be signed. I'm reaching in over here now.
Please read that one again. Say that name.
Stacy. Well, Tony, I just put it down here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I'll find it.
That's okay. I've got all of these people.
No,
How many?
the lady you just talked about says no, she's from Missouri and now in California.
Okay. Well, that's not, then she's not Kim. Well, she wins prize anyway. But I'm looking at these pieces of paper. How many prizes have I given out today?
Several, but I'll
Okay.
find
Well,
Stacy.
I'll tell you what, it makes me happy. So I'm going to come over here and give away another one. And to anybody who's thinking that if we're by ourselves, and a lot of people, if your spouse is sick or gone or whatever, and you're in your house, there's somebody else you'd love to talk to you, spend a little time. Okay, this is Carol Sue, one word, Carol Sue, good Southern name, Carol Sue Scott. All right, Carol Sue, you just won a present, and I think that's it. You got that name, Tony?
I got that one.
I
Just
can
missing
get that
Stacy's
other
last
one.
name.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Y'all, I've had another good time, and for y'all to give me an hour of your time and join in the fun, I really appreciate it. And for the next week, wear your mask when you have to. I even smile behind my mask just because it makes me feel better to be smiling. So
And
remember, there are a lot of people that need a little attention. What'd you say, Patrick?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but don't forget that if you want to be the first notified for the audiobook that's coming out very shortly, go to the address at the bottom of the screen,
now.
put your name and address down, and we will email you as soon as it's ready to purchase. This is for the audio CD.
So the audio version of the book, the CD.
And once again, Mark Loud.
And Patrick gets a percentage on the audio book. You can probably tell. So why not? Okay, see you next week with our special guest.
Left brain counting money, Jeannie's being funny, talking about the bungee jumping, flooding out the house. Weather's turning colder, Pashmina's on her shoulder. Just ask her about fashion, she knows what it's about. Rafting with a Baptist, left brain got the shopping list. Jeannie's got a way to keep you laughing from the porch. Tony on the phone calls, kicking laundry down the hall. Dude, 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 now on Jeannie's back porch. Dude, 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 there on Jeannie's back